Welcome to Tips for Facilitating NVC Groups with Joy and Confidence. Today I'll be talking about how to deal with your triggers. When I first started teaching NVC, I put myself under a lot of pressure about being a compassionate facilitator all the time. I thought I was supposed to be kind and loving to everyone, no matter what, to never have judgments about people in my classes, and to never feel impatient or annoyed. Can you relate? Now I know that that's just not realistic. It's okay to be annoyed or frustrated. These are merely emotions. What's important to me is to respond to my triggers in a way that supports connection and care. So let's spend a few minutes now looking at how we can do this. First, I want to remember that as a facilitator, I'm not responsible for meeting everyone's needs. My goal is to value everyone's needs. This is a key distinction that can relieve enormous pressure we facilitators often put ourselves under. Second, if I'm triggered by what someone did or said, I'm judging them. And if I'm judging them, I'm not connected to needs, theirs or mine. Have you ever noticed how impossible it is to judge someone while you're connected empathically? The simple truth is that when you're in judgment, it's a signal that you're not connected to needs. And when I'm not connected to needs, the best thing I know to do is to empathize. So I start with silent empathy for myself by simply acknowledging my feelings and needs. I might think, oh, I'm so frustrated and I'd really like ease right now. Or, oh, I'm weary and would really like a way to connect that supports both of us. When I'm feeling more connected to myself, I'm in a better position to empathize with the other person in a way that I think will support them and the group. Depending on the situation and group dynamics, I might choose to give them empathy in the full group or possibly privately during a break. And I also might choose only to silently empathize with them. Remember, empathy isn't about doing anything. It's first and foremost a state of being that allows me to connect with the needs of the other person and myself. When we reflect back what someone says, we are merely verbalizing that empathic connection. So, once we've connected empathically, our judgments and emotional triggers diminish immediately and like magic. Sometimes facilitators feel compelled to work through their judgments, discomfort, or triggers with their participants to support authenticity. However, they often forget that their feelings are stimulated by what other people do or say, not caused by it. And since I'm responsible for my own feelings, working through my triggers is my work. And I may or may not choose to involve group members in my processing, unless I truly believe it will support the other person, myself, or the group process. Remember, one of the basic tenets of nonviolent communication is to value all needs equally. As an NVC facilitator of groups, I want to demonstrate and model this value as much as possible. Here's what I know. My goal is to value all needs, and I'm not responsible for meeting them all. If I'm triggered or in judgment, I'm not connected to needs. Empathy for myself and the other person helps me connect to needs, and there are many ways to empathize. If I make conscious choices about how to proceed that I think will value all our needs, I'm living in harmony with my NVC values. Here's what I want to remember: to make my decisions while valuing all the needs. Thank you. Here's to loving ourselves even when we fall into judgment.